Ain't it now? Okay, I think we are live.
All right.
What number is this? Three,
This is
two,
number 4.
four. The fourth round table,
Churning them out.
little by little. All right, well, welcome everybody to the fourth round table. What are we going to be focusing on today, little B?
Well, like I said, welcome to the Order of Pillars, the round table. My name is Ricardo. If you haven't already seen some of our videos, to my side is my brother Nick, who is eating something.
Apple.
So, for anyone who's not aware, this is where iron sharpens iron, where we men come together. We discuss faith, fitness, finance, family, leadership, and brotherhood. We do this every Friday. And so we sit down, we tackle different topics, and basically what it takes to be a pillar in life. So tonight's topic is going to be a little bit lighter, still in relation to the Order of Pillars, but this topic is retardmaxxing, which I hope that doesn't get us kicked off of YouTube. For anyone who doesn't know what retardmaxxing is, I'm sure we've all done it at some point in our lives, some more than others, and some more retarded than others. For instance, my brother and myself. What does retardmaxxing mean? It's basically the idea of breaking free from hesitation, of not overthinking. You're trying to take any action, even if it's messy, instead of waiting for some kind of a perfect condition, some ideal, and overanalyzing everything in your life. Because at the end of the day, it's better to act imperfectly than to sit in fear of, well, what could be, or how can I maximize the benefits, or just overthinking in your head.
Check. Can you hear me?
Yep. Can you hear?
Okay, there you go. I had lost my microphone for a second. So, do you happen to know why it's called retardmaxxing?
I don't know the origin. I think it came from a meme culture. And it's basically, as most things on the internet, trying to be somewhat offensive. And in that meme, there is a seed of truth and beauty and wisdom. So,
all right, interesting. So, let me see if I understand you correctly here. Retardmaxxing is taking action, basically.
yes, it's to not to overcomplicate, which is actually the whole idea of retardmaxxing, is just to get out of your head, right? It is to stop trying to have the perfect answer for everything and trying to be so analytical. In life, we come across so many different things where, especially today, your first reaction when you have a thought, it's, oh, hold on, let me Google this and do this. But throughout all of history, men have just kind of done things, right? We go off of instinct. We dive into ideas or into things that we want to accomplish. And we might have a basic plan, but it's not going to be perfect. I mean, you think the people who jumped onto a boat and started trying to explore the oceans to find new lands, like, they didn't have 100%, like, oh, well, it's going to take us approximately 3 years and this and that. No, they're like, well, it should take us about this long, but come on, let's jump on the boat. Let's see what happens.
I'm sure many of them died, though.
They did. But that's just natural selection,
Now, in retardmaxxing, is there a level of preparation, or it's just 100% wing it?
I think we'll naturally have a certain level of somewhat of an idea of what we want to get done, but it's basically not to overanalyze things, right? So the idea of analysis paralysis. I'm sure we've all experienced when you go to the grocery store and maybe you're looking at, I don't know, cereal or whatever the heck you're trying to buy. And in your head, you're like, okay, I want a cereal. And then you get to the store and there are 40 different options. And then you start thinking, well, I mean, I don't want something too sweet, or I want something this, or, you know, maybe my kid like this, or at the end of the day, you wanted cereal. Just grab a flippin' cereal and go. So
the paradox of choice.
yes.
But all right, great. Now, what would this lovely image have to do with Retardmaxxing, do you think?
So for anyone who doesn't know, this is Pepe, again, big into meme culture. And it basically just shows, you know, Pepe being a retard, you know, going about enjoying life, but in him just having fun and going out there and doing what he wants to do, that attracts women and a lot of things in life that turn out for the best. Because again, you're not stuck in a, well, I got to wait for it to be perfect temperature and to do this and to do that. Maybe I don't know how to surf. Screw it, bro. Just go out and do it. And then you find a hottie like that, and she wants to go surfing with you, and now you're a fat little frog sitting with a hottie.
There we go. So if nothing else, may this image motivate you to retard max it. All right. So basically, like what you said, if I'm understanding you correctly, retardmaxxing is basically messy action, which beats no action, right?
Yep.
And before we go on to the next bullet points, in your opinion, do you think most men or most people in general suffer from this?
Suffer from overthinking?
Yeah, like not taking action because they're overthinking basically.
Yeah, I think again, especially today with how everything is, people are so afraid of, oh, well, I don't want to, you know, put money away, you know, touching back on our call last week, which if you haven't seen our previous videos, we do have 3 other videos up. Go and check those out. And if you're not a part of the community, go to the link below and sign up to Order of Pillars, where we talk about many different subjects. But I think, again, in today's society, people are so hell-bent on wanting to have the perfect diet, right? To have a perfect investing plan, to have a, you know, the exact answer for everything instead of just do it, right? You want to fail forward, right? The more you try, the more you'll mess up. And I think a lot of people are afraid of messing up because they don't want to have other people look at them and laugh at them or something else. And in that you're just being stupid, right? You don't do anything. So you sit there and you doom scroll for hours on end, or you watch Netflix, you know, show after show. I don't know if anybody else has done that, where you watch so many shows that Netflix is be like, hey, are you still
there?
Are you still there? Like,
Are you alive?
Unfortunately, barely living, but there's a heartbeat. So again, it's just the idea of just do it, man. You know, you really want to get financial freedom. Okay, well, start saving, right? Oh, how much should I save? Should I save? Should I do this? Should I do that? Bro, just save. If you save $1, that's more than what you have saved last month. If you save $100, cool. If at the end of the day, you were like, oh, I'm going to save my whole paycheck, and then you're like, hey, I forgot that I had bills to pay. Like, okay, well, good job. You were being a retard, but you've saved a good amount of money to pay your bills now.
You retard maxed it. Now, where is, in your purview, what would be where's the fine line between retard maxing it and just straight being irresponsible?
That's a hard one, and you are defeating the idea of retard maxing. Stop overthinking. You're trying to draw a line here and be intellectual. Who cares, bro? Who cares? Have fun in life, right? In life, people take themselves way too seriously. They want to see like, oh, well, what if I don't do this? Or maybe if I do this, it'll be too bad. I don't know, bro. You'll figure it out when you cross that line. You go, I fucked up.
I effed up.
Yeah.
YouTube's like, I have to bleep this out. But all right.
We don't get monetized anyways. It's fine.
So stop paralyzing yourself with overthinking, waiting for the perfect moment. In which area of life do you think most people most suffer from paralysis? Is it in financial decisions, maybe having babies, growing a family, starting a business, getting in shape, etc.?
I think it varies man to man, people in general. I know a lot of men are struggling with finding the right girl, and that's fair. And there's a lot of murky water.
They're crazies out there.
just so you know, if she's got different colored hair, if it's blue, orange, red, stay away. Unless it's a natural red, but then they have no soul, so still stay away. It's fine.
Okay. Septum ring, no. Yeah. Run.
But I think it's the women first, right? They want to go out and they automatically think like, oh man, I'm not in the best of shape, so a girl won't like me, or maybe I'm not the funniest in the room, I'm not the smartest in the room. So automatically they kind of shut down and they don't put themselves out there. You know, I think of, which is probably a bad analogy, but I think of the show Family Guy. You know, he's a fat retard who messes up at everything, and he's got a hot wife because he just kind of goes out there and he does things and they work out. Mind you, it's a cartoon, but the premise is still there. But yeah, put yourself out there, man. Girls like genuine people. And then the next step from that is children, which is a huge, huge thing. Anybody who has kids knows that they are the best thing in your life. Amazing, amazing things to become a father and a mother. But so many people hold it off because they don't go, oh, I don't have enough money, or I can't do this, I can't do that. But what really brings out the best man in most people, some people not so much, but is being put in that position, right? You have the kid, planned or unplanned, and then you go, okay, I got to make this work one way or another. And you find that, again, that was the drive that you needed to become the best possible man that you can. You know, really just, again, just don't overthink it. Be a natural guy. Go out there, make mistakes. You know, be a short bus conquistador. Go out there and just conquer the world on your little yellow short bus.
That's so wrong. Even if they get shot down 20 times, 100 times, 5,000 times.
Each time's a learning experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You might learn how to say no in different languages.
Yeah. I now know 20 different ways that I can get a girl to slap me.
All right, good. Now, courage plus movement trumps theory plus hesitation. Do you believe that's 100% of the time?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say it beats it in, again, just action, right? Taking action, moving, and like I said, failing forward. You want to go out there, and I don't know if it was Hermosi or one of these guys basically said, you want to go out there and make as many mistakes as you can, because each time that you do that, you learn and you realize, okay, that didn't work. Try it again. Okay, it didn't work that way either. Do it again. Keep going. Keep going. Eventually, you find the right combination of things, or it's just serendipitous, right? It's just that one perfect time and thing you said or whatever else that just works out perfectly. We all know people who college educated, right? They have PhDs and this and that. They have theories on all these different things, but they don't contribute anything to society. And then if you ask them to, change a tire, they don't know how to do it. Or funny joke, it's for you, Nick. What a lot of people say, well, it's not like rocket science, right? It's not rocket science, not rocket science. What do rocket scientists say to each other when they're saying it's not a hard thing?
I have no idea.
It's not like talking to women.
So, are you basically advocating that people shouldn't be going to college, university? They should just go out there and start trying stuff?
For most men, so my personal belief is most men don't need college the way it's advocated today, thinking that college is going to be the silver bullet that gets you the job and the do all these things. As somebody who has been in management for many years, and I've known many high level VPs, CEOs, or whatever else, a degree is okay, but the thing they want to know most is, what have you done? Right? There's so many people out there who, sure, you have a college degree, but even when you get your college degree, as soon as you get out, your piece of paper means nothing, right? You need to actually put that into practice. So yeah, I mean, college degree, in my opinion, is more of a sign that says, look, I can stick to something for a long period of time. When somebody tells me to do something, I can do it. I can repeat back to them in a satisfactory way. And I did that for 8 years. Here's my paper.
Okay. But at least it gets your foot in the door.
In some areas, for sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want a college-educated doctor who's going to do surgery on me versus somebody who's like, no, man, I'm really confident. Like I got.
He retard-maxed it.
you took the theory too far. But by all means, man, there's people out there who are PhDs in sociology and freaking gender studies and all this, and it's like, okay, good for you. And I work at Chick-fil-A right now. It's like, okay, well, you don't do anything with you. That was probably the most retarded thing you could do. You are now $100,000 in debt, and you make $7.50 an hour. Congratulations.
Okay, all right. Now, in your case, which areas of life do you think you have retard-maxed it, and which areas of life have you not?
I have been a retard since day one.
I can confirm that.
No, I think kids naturally have a tendency to just do it. I mean, that's a prime example. Nike's little quote is retardmaxxing put in a PC way, right? Just do it. Kids don't need to have a perfect plan for stuff, right? They just kind of jump in and they do it, they mess up. And, I heard something a while ago that said, how long would you give a child the chance to walk? Every time they try to walk, they stumble, they fall. They did it 1,000 times, but they kept doing it. And eventually they're able to walk. That's why we're able to walk every day, right? All of us, well, most of us.
Yes.
Can't people
Gotta be inclusive.
Right. Big up to the pops. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, bro. Just don't overthink it. Keep trying. Eventually you will get it. Guarantee you will get it. So
Right.
in life, me personally, as a manager, I'm constantly asked to do things that I've never done before in my life. And you have to take it in stride and go, okay, look, I'm going to do the best that I can. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to ask for as much, help in any questions that I may have. But at a certain point, right, fake it till you make it. Just keep going. And you would be surprised at how often just overcoming that initial hesitation, that fear, and, well, what if I fail? What if they think I don't know what I'm doing this and that? You come out on top and you realize that wasn't hard at all. Like the biggest enemy was myself and my self-doubt. So
All right. So you would say you retard max it, to use the phrase as often as possible. You retard max it often.
yeah, yeah. Have you done anything in your life where you would say you were retard maxing?
I would say up to like yesterday, I've been doing that. I just
What changed today?
well, the day's not over.
Yeah, right.
No, I think I think I am of the people who, I think most people are like this actually, but I'm one of the ones who don't listen to the person that tells me, don't stick your hand in the fire because you'll get burnt. Look at me, I got burnt. I don't listen to that. I got to do it. I gotta feel the burn, and I basically do that my entire life. I've had a million and one negative consequences to it, but I've had a million and two positive consequences to it. So, I would say most of my life, yeah, even though, ironically enough, anytime I go on a trip, like a vacation or something for a week, yeah, I over plan that like every step of the way. So I plan everything. I have a plan A, B, C, where we're gonna go, how long we're gonna be there, or what time we're gonna be there, where we're gonna stay, and how long we're gonna sleep in for. Like I over plan that. But everything else, I'm a retard. So
With
and mhm.
your planning on trips, does that take away from you being in the moment and fully enjoying the trip, because oh man, we've got exactly 15 minutes left in this task before we have to jump over to the next?
Um, I think I've had some moments. I've had some moments where improvising has definitely left a dent in my memories. Like it was like a extremely memorable experience. But I think I've had more times where the trip has flopped due to lack of planning, rather than these isolated moments of improvisation that just kind of turned out awesome. So if I would put it on a balance, I'm a little bit more inclined to plan everything. I'm sure there's like a balance in the middle, don't go to the extremes. Don't over plan everything, but don't improvise everything. I'm sure there's a middle there, but I'm kind of an extremist in that regard. I'm all in or not. But most of the time, the rest of my life, I pretty much retard. Actually, where I am right now in Colombia, that was retard maxing it like to the fourth power. Because that was like completely improvised. And for those who don't know, I lived in Venezuela for several years, roughly 8 years, 10 years, 9 years, something like that. My wife, my current wife, hopefully my last wife, will be, she's from Venezuela, and we had to come to Colombia for a concert. And we came for a concert. It was Corn with K. And we stayed for a week and a half or so in Bogota, Colombia. Never been to this country before. My wife was roughly 6-7 months pregnant at the time. And I had bought the tickets to the concert like a year in advance. So she wasn't pregnant when I had bought the tickets, but she got pregnant. And I said, I'm not going to lose this concert because of that baby. So we got on the plane. We came to Colombia, to Bogota. We stayed at an Airbnb, and we went to the concert. And about 2 days before departing, going back to Venezuela, we said, you know what? Let's just stay. And so my wife being 6-7 months pregnant, we had one suitcase with both of our clothes in it. and my laptop in my backpack, which is my office. And that's all we had. We had no papers here. We had and nothing. We had a limited amount of money. That was the most retarded thing to the max that you could have done. But it worked out actually. It was probably, in hindsight, it was probably one of the best decisions we had made at the time, because this was in 2017, 18 or so. And at that time, it was horrible in Venezuela, like power outages across the country for days on end, no food, no medicine. It was like, it was like rock bottom. Which is the reason why we decided just to wing it, just stay here and figure it out. And everything worked out. Everything, I would say, with Retardmaxxing it, I would say when you're in these positions where you're just kind of improvising and just figuring it out and going all in head first, a side of you comes out that you didn't expect. And suddenly you become super resourceful and super sharp, clever in certain things. And you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I was capable of doing this. But it's because you were put in that position to do so. And I would probably bet the same thing happens in business or finances or whatever it is. So definitely that's my little anecdote of my Retardmaxxing it.
Yeah, I think, like you said, and you said it very well, right? If you put yourself in uncomfortable situations, your true self, or parts of yourself you didn't know, are forced to come out. And that's growth, right? You grow in your uncomfortable situations. So if you constantly put yourself in those uncomfortable situations, you grow to the kind of man that maybe you really would like to be, or maybe you thought you could never be. There's, again, multiple things in history of people doing that, and something deep down inside of them gets ignited. They become more creative, resourceful, happier. And in living in the moment, again, that's where a lot of the beauty comes in, right? It's called the present for a moment, right? You gotta, or for a reason, you got to live in it, and in that you experience and grow and just really enjoy your life. Like I said, I've done countless things where it was very poorly planned, and just enjoying ourselves. We make memories that we would never forget. A lot of the members in the community, some of them are my friends. We have been friends for many years. One thing in particular, we went, and one of my friends had an inflatable kayak. It was a nice kayak. And the rest of us wanted to go kayaking at night because we're retarded. And this was in Florida. Obviously, anything larger than a puddle of water has a gator in it. But, whatever, let's just go and have fun. So we went to Walmart late at night. We all purchased the most rinky-dink inflatable, raft stuff that we could. Not like an inner tube, but like an actual little boat dinghy looking thing. So we all had different versions of this. And we pushed off into the Hillsborough River, and we just started paddling, not really going anywhere, just kind of going down the river. In that, I am 99% sure that I felt a gator swim underneath me at one point. One of my other friends, he started to lose air in his kayak as we were floating down the river, and we were all freaking out on how to try to get off the river in order to fix this. We did all kinds of stuff. But like I said, in that, we had so much fun. And yeah, you make memories, like I said, when you don't over plan it. Right? You got to take life as it comes for you. And it's gonna give you poop sometimes, but like a retarded alchemist, man, turn that poop into sugar. So
That's so nasty. And on that trip, no one lost a toe or anything to a gator.
no, we lost I think an inflatable raft or two. Lost some brain cells, but we gained a lot of memories, laughter, and bonding. So
I agree. Would you say most experiences were positive by just winging it?
no.
You're killing the whole episode here.
There's definitely times where you act on an impulse, and like I said, man, life teaches you lessons the hard way, and then you look back and you go, okay, well, yeah, hindsight, that was a stupid idea. Plenty of times where we could have gotten seriously hurt, or whatever. A prime example is, again, with my group of friends. One time, I think it was during the 4th of July, we had the brilliant idea of getting the Roman candles. Anybody who doesn't know what a Roman candle is, it's a tube that has a certain amount of like incendiary devices in it. So you hold it and it shoots out, different colored fireballs. You're supposed to shoot it up in the air. It's a great time. But we went to the trail. There you go, exactly. And we decided to have a war amongst us. So we were running around at night shooting each other with Roman candles. And I don't remember who it was, but somebody got hit in the face with one of them. And luckily he wasn't hurt too bad. But yeah, it was one of those things. Again, looking back, you're like, that probably wasn't the smartest move. So
Well, yeah, but not seriously injured, right?
no, a little singe, more fear, but it could have been much worse. I mean, if that would have gotten in somebody's eye or something, yeah, could have been bad.
Yeah, it could have been could have been ugly. But all right, so failures become proof and teachers, while inaction just rots. Do you think this kind of goes back to the whole college thing? So basically, by just going out in life and doing stuff, that's the best teacher, you would say, rather than sitting in a classroom listening to theory or just watching stuff on YouTube and learning theoretically.
Yeah, I think we're all guilty of watching stuff on YouTube. Somebody build something, do something, and you're like, man, that's a great idea. I would love to do that. And you scroll to the next video, and then you start watching something else. Oh man, I could do that too, and keep doing. Or if you read books, right? How many books have you read? And you're like, man, this book has such great information, and then you don't implement any of it. And I'm like, okay, well, that was pretty worthless. Then you just spent hours of your life reading something that you didn't implement. Which segue, we are starting a book reading community in the Order of Pillars. If you wanted to touch on that.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Called, what was it called? Codex Virilis, right?
Yes, but technically in Latin there is no V. It's pronounced in a W, so it's Virilis.
Well, for the normal people out there, it's Codex Virilis. And what would that mean? That's Latin, right? So what does that mean?
Codex Virilis is basically men's library or men's books. It's the concept that we're going to be doing a certain book every so often until we finish the book. We're gonna do videos kind of like what we're doing now, once a week, every Saturday. We're gonna sit down, we read 2 chapters a week, and we basically talk about what we've learned in the book, how we can implement it in our lives, our different perspectives of what we've read. This week, not this week, this first one is The Psychology of Money.
Yeah,
and
you'll make a sneak peek here.
Yeah, if you pull that up, there you go.
Right there. Yeah,
Oh,
so
there's
this is
Virilis.
where Yeah, I'm just gonna keep saying Virilus.
Virilus.
Virilus. Brotherhood Book Circle, right? So, like, what would be the point of creating these sessions every week?
The point is to, well, one, try to increase men reading throughout all of history. Well, not all of history. Uh, a lot of the most successful men or learned men have been reading. And that's something that men today, I think, struggle with hard. We don't read. We prefer to scroll on our phones or watch football or whatever your guilty pleasure is. But people don't have the time to sit down and read. And if they do read, they don't really understand what they're reading. They don't have anybody to talk about what they're reading to, because again, the average person doesn't read. You come up and you go, "Hey, I was, recently reading The Psychology of Money," and it looks like you're talking to a freaking ventriloquist dummy. So this gives men in the community a chance to really practice that skill, again, implement what we learn, talk amongst ourselves, and continue to have that iron sharpen iron mindset to bring out the best in us. And I don't know exactly, because we are retard maxing ourselves, but we will most likely choose the next book. But hopefully, as this takes off, maybe we can start giving the opportunity to the members, right? Doing a little, I don't
Yeah,
know,
we
a little,
can make it like a poll
yeah,
of
see
several
what kind
books.
of things want to do. Maybe they want to get away from the whole money aspect and want to get into philosophy. Maybe they want to get into
Pharmaceutical.
spirituality, right? Yeah, maybe they just enjoy, I don't know, a good romance novel, in which case we'll kick them out from the community. That's not cool.
I know in this case, we're going to be starting with The Psychology of Money. It has excellent reviews. We're kind of rearing off of the main topic here, but just a little segue of what we're doing in the community. If you haven't signed up, if you haven't joined, join. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube, you're watching us on YouTube right now, and you still haven't subscribed to YouTube, shame on you. A plague on both your houses.
Shame.
And the idea right now is just this butthead over here and me, but hopefully, fingers crossed, eventually there are going to be a whole bunch of other people here weighing in, also telling stories and giving us their 2 cents on whatever the topic may be, and it'll be a lot more livelier and a lot more entertaining, which is the whole idea of creating this initiative here with the books. Because, well, I enjoy reading, my brother enjoys reading, but it's so much more fun when many people read the same book and you talk about it and you discuss it and we motivate each other. It's like you kind of like have somebody there pushing you, like, this week you got to read these 2 chapters, because if not, you're going to look like a fool, I say. So you have to. So it's good, and it's gonna basically make you smarter. But to not linger on that too much, let's see if we can get back to the idea of this episode, which is retard maxing it, right? So let me get over here, and we might not get into all of these questions because a lot, and we're rambling on here. But let's just explore some of these questions. I'm going to start asking you. Will be the first one. Where in your life are you mistaking preparing for actually avoiding action? Currently speaking.
Hmm. So I have a lot of things that I would like to do, but my plate's already really full. So I don't know if me conceptualizing and kind of just playing around mentally with things is avoiding the action, or just being smart and not killing myself with far too many things to do. But I would probably, my first reaction is thinking about I don't even know. I don't know. I was gonna say my fitness thing, but I mean, I've been preparing pretty solidly for that. I have my race here in October, in mid-October, but I've been preparing hard for that, so it's not really avoiding action. I don't
But
know.
what about eating, like the inverse? Maybe it's not something that you are avoiding. Maybe it's something that you keep doing that you shouldn't be doing. Maybe
Uh,
eating sweets, donuts, pizza,
don't even get me
pizza,
started.
or
My father-in-law is in town, and we bought a dozen donuts, and I've had a few of already. So
a moment on the lips, Louie.
yeah, I definitely my diet needs to be tightened up. Which actually, I'm going to take a page from your book, a retarded page from your book, and just super simplify my diet. Right, same thing every morning, every lunch, every dinner, a snack of a double scoop of protein. I will completely eliminate any kind of guesswork on did I hit my macros? Is too carbs? Is too high in fat? This and that. No, just be a little
Yeah,
retarded. 6 eggs in the morning, you know, six
yeah,
ounces of chicken,
that's what
six
I
ounces
do.
of beef. You're done.
Exactly. It's super easy, and it's really easy to stick to it.
Yeah.
And after a couple weeks, you don't even care anymore. But yeah, I highly recommend. I've been on the exact same diet for over 2 months now, a little over 2 months, eating the exact same thing every morning, the exact same thing for lunch, the exact same thing for dinner from from Monday to Saturday. Sunday is my cheat meal day. And I clarify my cheat meal, not the cheat day. It's not like I have donuts for breakfast and then pizza for lunch. No, just one
Get
meal.
off my case.
One single meal a week. And I look so forward to that meal. But the other 6 days of the week, the exact same thing. And I feel fine as long as you choose your meals appropriately. It has to have carbs for energy. It's got to have protein, some vegetables for vitamins and whatnot. It has to be like pretty balanced. But then you just stick to it. But that's me though, because I'm not a foodie. So I could eat cardboard for the rest of my life. I don't care. But not everybody's like that. I don't know. Maybe you love to savor the flavors of the food. I don't know.
I have been in excess of 200 pounds at one point. I definitely like to eat. So
Exactly. Yeah, but I guess like anything, it's creating a habit. Just retard max it and see how it goes.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. Again, don't overthink it, right? Like you said, minimal planning, right? You know your carbs, your protein, or your carbs, your protein, your little bit of fat. You got everything. That's the most thing you need to do. Stop thinking about it. Just do it. Just take action.
Just go for it. Excellent. Now, what dream have you buried under excuses like not ready or not the right time in your lifetime, not necessarily right now?
So this one I was actually thinking about, and this community is something, as you know, we've talked about for a while, is something that I've always wanted to do. I've always thought, man, it'd be cool to do this and do that and conceptualize, and I'd like this and that, and I'd overthink it, but I would always constantly go back to, oh, but who's gonna join it? I don't know if I'm actually the best person to do this. Just constantly self critiquing and just not taking action. And then eventually I just retard maxed it. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Let's go for it. Right? You and I spoke. We started this whole thing together. And yeah, hopefully it's something that can really help individuals in multiple different areas of their life. And we continue to just retard max, right? Every day.
Yeah.
all the posts that go up, the topics that we talk about, the new concepts. I have a bunch of other things in mind, but again, this thing is one of the ones that I would say I really held back on. And if I would have started years ago, obviously we'd be much, much further ahead today.
Yeah. So just do it. Just do it, as Nike says. Yeah,
Right?
and it works out. And worst case scenario, and we learn a thing or two along the way. Right? That's like there's really no losing. Just do it. I'm trying to, 'cause as you were talking, I was trying to think, when did I feel like that? I don't know. Like I said, most of my life has been retarded. So so I actually have a problem with keeping my foot on the pedal, like on the gas pedal. Like I go full throttle on everything too much, and just it reminds me of when I had the business at an English teaching company, and I had it with at that company with a partner, and we were the exact opposite as far as like growth and trying new things for the company and expanding. The exact opposite. He was highly conservative. Like he would have his foot on the brake constantly. And I was the opposite. I would always want to do like 40 different things at the same time. Um and we kind of complemented each other quite well actually. We met in the middle there, and sometimes we moved ahead, sometimes we laid back a little bit. But I would say most of my life, I basically live my life that way. I just go all in. Well, for example, tattoos. Most people have like one tattoo, two, three tattoos. I go crazy. I full throttle. So I have like 80% of my body tattooed. And I basically do the same thing with everything. And I say, screw it. Let's just do it. Let's retard max it. And so I actually have the opposite problem. I need to be less retarded, actually. Now, if you died tomorrow, what unfinished thing would you regret never starting?
I would say twofold. One is traveling and seeing the world more, and the other one is not having as many kids as I'd want and to spend as much time with them as I'd want. Obviously, I'm working on the kids, but
Hey, you still got time for that one.
yeah, no, I mean, but if I die tomorrow, I don't.
Well, yeah, I mean, you might be able to like get one more in there.
I just want, but
But all right,
the other one is
so
traveling, right? My big thing is saving, investing, planning up to a point about a lot of different things. Um, so while I have traveled a good amount, more in the States than out of the States, there is still tons that I would love to see outside of the States and experience.
all right. Well, but it's never too late, and unless you die tomorrow, of course.
Yeah, right. What
But,
about you?
some unfinished thing. I would, huh? Well, the first thing that came to my mind is actually really silly, but I don't have enough tattoos on this arm. So then I finish this arm because this arm's good, but yeah, I still got too many blank areas here on this side.
Depending on the
Uh,
casket, man, that's the side that's going to be open. So they're going to look and be like, this guy only had a few tattoos. What a loser.
It's no, and I need to have a lot of them so that you can pick from them. Remember what I said? You got to like have one framed, one of my actual skin framed.
I will
Um,
can't hide it. I'll stretch it out, put it on the wall.
no, but I would say besides like just getting more tattoos, something I would regret that's unfinished. I would probably say like my business endeavors. I wish I don't know. I wish I kind of would have started a lot earlier. I got into my comfort zone for too many years of freelancing what I do. And so I worked as a freelancer and I was comfortable there. I was just like in a very, very comfortable area with highs and lows, but I didn't. That was after my business, which was a lot of work, headache, stressful. Anybody who's had a business or has a business understands what I'm talking. It's like it takes away years from your life from stress. And after doing that, I just got into freelancing, working on my own. I was my own boss. I was a one-man team, and I got really comfortable into doing that. And I did that for way too many years. But freelancing, there's always going to be a ceiling. You can't grow more than like 24 hours a day. And so recently, the last year or two, I kind of got back into entrepreneurship, which is what I really enjoy. And I think I would regret not finishing that and not have started that years earlier, just because I was too comfortable, if that makes any sense. Now, is there any other question you would like to explore here before we wrap it up? Because we could be here for like 4 more hours.
Right. A question to anybody watching, I would ask, who in your life could keep you accountable to finally taking the steps in whatever area that you'd want to move forward in life. I think a lot of, again, men in particular lack, I believe, true friendship. Right? We all have acquaintances, people that we have, a good time with or whatever else, but not somebody that is caring for your best interest above their own. I think that's a rarity. And again, for anybody watching, if you've stuck around this long, good on you.
Congratulations.
Right? Wish we had like confetti.
Can I get confetti? I don't know if that's possible. That would be so cool.
Right? I'm sure there's a way, but
legit? No, just on my computer. Yeah. What about like this? Can you see that?
There you go.
That's like the closest thing we got.
But I would say, again, this is why the Order of Pillars is here. In this community, you should be able to find men who are able to keep you accountable, push forward, know that all the men in here are struggling in their own areas, but in them wanting to do more, they will help you keep accountable and vice versa. And obviously, as we say in every other video that we've done, all 3 of them, we're here, right? So you could always reach out to us. And we plan on fine-tuning this community and the structure more so that you have even more support and constant, reliability. Check-ins, make sure you're doing well. Where are you messing up on? How can I help you? Et cetera, et cetera. So if you're struggling in that, join the community.
Excellent. Well put. Now, to wrap up, we have this last little challenge here. Retardmaxxing isn't stupidity. It's courage. And despite the name being retardmaxxing, the refusal to wait for perfect conditions, the choice to act boldly, fail forward, and prove through movement what endless thinking never will. So the challenge to you all, if you're on YouTube, challenge goes out to you as well, but specifically focusing on the members of the community. This week, what we want you to do is pick one thing you've been putting off and just retardmax it. Take one messy action, no matter how small, and share it with the Brotherhood. What you did, how it felt, and what changed once you finally moved. It can be the smallest little thing ever. Maybe, I don't know, for some of you, you finally cleaned your room. I don't know. Finally made your bed. Your bed's just been a mess for 3 years, and you say, you know what, I'm going to wake up. I'm just going to retard max. I'm going to make my bed today. Or it could be something bigger, whatever you want. But in the community, post it under this video. And yeah, we'd love to see like what each one of you have been struggling with, and to just, in this case, tell you, don't think about it. Don't overplan it. Just go for it. Retard max it. Anything else, Obi? Nope, we're good.
That should be it. Y'all have a
All
good
right.
week. We'll see you next week.
Next week, and we'll see what topic we're gonna come up with for next time. All right, so stay tuned, subscribe, join the community, and we'll see you next week. Peace.